now that I've successfully exfiltrated the house or the apartment, I'm heading down to the car, and I think we're gonna, on my new GoPro 13 Hero, we're gonna see how this goes this morning. Shooting a little bit of footage. Bring you along for the ride. So the goal this morning is to get out, and it's like 44 degrees in winter, so that's awesome. But the goal this morning is to get out and try to get some fog because of the warmer temperatures, and it's been so cold lately. So we'll see what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up by the Kensico, I think I'm saying that right, I don't know, the Kensico Dam Reservoir area, about 16 minutes away up the hutch, and see what we can find. But I don't know. It's always a crapshoot because I don't know if the sun's going to be coming through or not. Probably not this morning. I didn't really even look at the weather report, so we'll see. But I got my kit over here in the seat beside me. I've got the heavy tripod, and I've got the travel too, just in case I want to pull out a second camera for a second comp. But first things first, and that's coffee. So. So I found a nice place, well, not really a nice place, but I found a place to park on the side of the road by the Kensico Dam area, or the reservoir area. And now that I have a little bit of coffee in me, I think that I'll go ahead and give this a try. So now I'm just getting my kit ready to take down there, and I'll have to walk back down behind me to where I found a bridge that overlooks a nice lake, and there's two sides to it. So I can tell there's a really thick layer over me in the dark. I drove through it as I gained and lost elevation, but aside from that, I'm not entirely sure what it'll look like once we start getting a little of that morning light. Right now it's about 6:23, so I've got a little under an hour until that happens. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to take down there with me right now, because I'm not going to walk back up to the car before here and then. So I'm got my heavy ProMaster tripod with me. I'm probably gonna leave that here. I'll probably just take my three-legged thing that I have, which is a lot lighter. And then lens-wise, I think I'll probably take the Tacom 150 to 500, just because I haven't used that in a while, and I think this might be a great opportunity for it. And then, of course, I've got the Sonys, a couple different A7s, and then what have I got? I got two prime lenses with me today. I've got a 14mm and a 50mm. The 14 is a 1.8, and then the 50 is goes down to 1.2, stops at 1.2, or goes up to 1.2. And then and of course I've got my 70 to 200. So I'm gonna pack all this stuff up and then walk on down. One thing I have discovered, if I'm going to be doing this video stuff, is now that I have a little coffee in me, is that I'm going to have to figure out some better lighting, and I don't know, maybe the audio too. As I watch these back, the audio might be something I need to figure out. So I'm going to pack up, see if I can get a little bit more light before we walk down, so you're not walking down with me in the dark, because that would be weird. Maybe I'll put a headlamp on, and I'll be back. All right. So I didn't really include you on the walk down here because it's just dark. And I don't even know if this is going to work. But I think one of the benefits to coming so early in the morning is that as you see the sun rise and progress, by the way, it started raining. So I grabbed an umbrella just to bring with me. So once I do get set up, I can maybe establish a little bit more with an umbrella, just not to get everything wet. But anyways, as I was saying, I think one of the important things about coming so early in the morning is as that sun is rising, or even if you can't see it directly and there's a lot of overcast, you can begin to see how that light is going to hit a lot more easily before it really infiltrates and starts penetrating every nook and cranny. So you can start seeing where the shadows are just a little bit at a time. And I don't think that you can do that as effectively when it's just brighter, right? So the earlier that you can come and the more you can see those early twilight hours and see how the space that you've chosen, and people are going to start waking up more, but that space you are choosing is going to be developed, the better you can see the composition before you take the picture, and just my personal opinion. So get there early is really what I'm trying to say. It's worth the wait, and it helps you develop patience. That's what photography is all about anyways, right? All right, so the rays let up a little bit here, and it is shaping up to be a pretty morning. So right now, let me show you what I have going on. I set up on this bridge, and we do have a little bit more light right now. So as you can see, looking out here, it's shaping up. The comp I'm going for is you got this nice long little finger pushing out here into the lake with this nice bank coming off it. So right now I have the 50mm set up, and it's looking pretty good. I'm focused very much on the very tops of those trees on that peninsula, try to pull that detail out. And bringing that ISO down just as low as I can go. Leaving it slightly underexposed because I'll pull that out in post. And there isn't a whole lot of wind, so I'm leaving that shutter speed pretty slow. I think overall, I could tighten that focus up just a little bit more. And that rain's starting to come down again. That'll be nice. Where that fog's just bleeding right through there. Still got some detail on the other side. And you see that long, that delayed shutter. It's making that water just a little bit smoky there. That'll be a pretty picture with some good color in it. Yeah, so let's see what else we can find. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing that same comp I was doing before, but as the light, it just gets brighter and brighter. I'm just speeding up that shutter speed just a little bit more, try to get that smoky water I had before from the slower shutter speed a little bit more still frame, so maybe I get a little more detail on the water. Still the same picture, the fog shifting obviously, but still gorgeous all the same, and then a little more detail comes out that maybe I can layer in and post. So I'll probably stay here about 5 more minutes. The rain's pretty drizzly right now, but nothing super bad. And then I might pull out the 70 to 200. I don't know yet. And there's a comp on the other side too I wanted to try. But just gonna keep shooting here for a minute. It's kind of funny the things that you see, the things that you see when it starts getting light. My wife and I were actually riding out here for one of her events and had driven this back road and didn't even realize that, and I had taken a picture that I actually really like of the sun rising through this boat graveyard, and this is the other side of it, and I didn't even realize that's where I was. But so, and the things that you see when the light comes, and I probably wouldn't have seen that if I hadn't have pulled out a different lens or just been paying attention. So we'll probably change my comp a little bit here to get a hold of that. So right now I'm just kind of piecing together a comp. We'll see how it works. I noticed this graveyard over here. Really enjoying this long line with this tree right here, and then the boats at the base, and then how that extends into the lake. I'm gonna show everything in focus here. Yeah, once I frame this out, this will be a nice picture. Fog drifting in the back of those trees. Nice definition, good detail up front, and you lose in the back. Got the boats up front, some different colors, and that extends into the lake. We can pull some of that color to the lake. And then you can tell there's a little bit of briskness, but you can see some of that shape of that one prominent tree in the middle extending in the lake. I can pull that out and post. And a little bit of color, a little bit of red going on there, some blues. Love it. Perfect. I know it was worth it coming out this morning. Let's go find something else. I'm a sucker for a long, foggy road. There's the nice thing about a heavy tripod is you get the stability that you're looking for. For the steadier shots, and you're gonna do, you know, if you have a slower shutter speed and to pull in some more light or whatever. But man, they are heavy, I'll tell you. Ounces makes pounds, and pounds kills Marines, that's for certain. Ah, more boats. Oh, there's more boats over there too. I like that's a longer line. I like that a little bit better. With all these boats, yeah, it's gonna leave our boats here. It's an agreed upon boat leaving place. All right. go into the woods and get out of this rain a little bit. What the world is going on here? I think you want to be photographed. I don't care about getting wet. I just care about the camera getting wet. So I think I definitely got 1, 2, 3, probably at least 3 shots that I'm happy with that came out of this one. Had them in, yeah, at least 3. And then I think 2 of those are smaller scenes. And then, how do I get down? We'll go this way. And then one of those is probably a grander landscape, but overall, not a bad little jaunt. Now I just gotta walk back up to the car in this wet mess. So it's been a fun little trip with this GoPro. I gotta figure out if the sound quality is gonna be good enough, because I'm gonna think it's not, especially when near roads, which I very often sometimes am. But as I walk back across this bridge, I always like to, as I'm packing up, and getting ready before I get back and photo edit, usually when I'm driving back after taking some photos, one thing I like to do is, oh, what did you learn today? Because I always like to learn at least one thing. And on this trip, even though it was short, I did learn a couple. So first of all, I need to get better in the wet. So I feel fairly confident that nothing's gonna get broken or anything, but we do have a trip to the northwest planned later in the summer, and it's gonna be wet. And I can't be juggling around an umbrella and all this other stuff also. So that's definitely one thing that I need to get better at. And then another thing that I came to realize this morning, which I kind of already knew, was Vessies are awesome, man. I'll tell you, I've got Vessi gloves, I got Vessi shoes on right now, and when it comes to keeping your feet dry and everything else, they do the trick. So I don't work for them, I don't promote them, I just think they work really well. So yeah, there's my plug for Vessi. Come sponsor me. All right, so gonna go back. Oh, I also learned I need more coffee, so I'm gonna go find some more coffee. Until then, enjoy the views. See ya.